What's going on, guys? So today's another one of our Whiteboard Wednesday videos, and I just wanted to go over biweekly accounts. There's a lot of debate on the internet or YouTube or whatever of should you pick up biweeklies. So the short answer is it really depends on what you want to do and how you want your company to go and what direction you want to be seen at and go. So real quick, when you're first starting out, yes, you should take on a biweekly. You should take on anything when you're first starting out to gain traction. It's the only way you're going to grow your business. When you're first starting out, take biweeklies. So, here's my cons to biweeklies. Do we pick up biweeklies still? Yes, we do. The only biweeklies we pick up where we're at with our company is if it is next to or across the street of a property we already maintain. So if we're going down my street every week to cut that lawn every week and the neighbor comes out and asks, absolutely, why not? The truck is already parked. If that truck is already parked and a neighbor or someone across the street wants you to cut their lawn, give them a quote. See how it goes, get a feel of it, and say, yeah, we can fit you on right across the street. I mean, you're going to be there every week, so why not be there every other week? So the truck's parked, you have less windshield time, which is less drive time, and it's less guys sitting in the truck. So that's the only way we'll pick up a biweekly account. So with that, you need to ask questions. It fits in your route. That's the first thing I wrote down. And the second thing is you need to ask if they have fertilizer or irrigation. Because if it does, there's not a chance in the world you should or we even take that on. So if someone's looking to have their grass cut every other week and they have irrigation and fertilizer on, it's going to be a jungle. Whether it's the middle of the summer, the spring, the fall, even if there's a drought. With all that going into the lawn, it's going to be a jungle. There's just the fact that people even want it cut every other week when they pay for all that other stuff anyway completely blows my mind. So if it fits in your route, you got to ask questions. You got to say, listen, we don't do many biweeklies. There's going to be a quality issue. And we're not going to bag your grass either. If they're looking for biweekly, listen, I understand they might be retired. They might have a budget. Everyone has a budget in life. Everyone has a certain amount of money at that time, you know, where they can, with certain things they can do for a little bit. So we won't bag. And I'll tell them, I'll say, listen, if it rains and it grows long, this gets discharged. There's not going to be clumps of grass around your yard, but it will not look as good as Mrs. Smith across the street because she has it done every week and it's beautifully cut. That's my big thing when it comes to biweeklies. That's the main issue. And you got to line up a few other things with that question also. If they want biweekly, most of the time they're not going to sign up for anything else. So your grass is only for those months where you cut grass. You need to fill in your March. You need to fill in your November and December. Now, I know it's all different everywhere in the country. Give me a break. I don't know. You know, some people cut grass through Thanksgiving, all of March, whatever. But you're not cutting grass for 12 months, unless you're in Florida, and probably. But anyway, you're not doing that. Pretend you're not doing that. You need to ask around, you know, hey, you know, we do leaf cleanups. Are you going to need anything else done? Don't get me wrong. The biweeklies we do, they sign up for leaf cleanups. Some even sign up for snow removal. So ask the question, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to charge more and you're going to have to explain to them, like, just explain everything I just said. Like, listen, we can't bag it. My dump fees are going to go up. If you wait every other week, you know, that bag is going to fill up even more than the weekly across the street. I can promise you that. So that's one thing when it comes to that, and you got to explain to them. Well, the guy that did it the last 10 years bagged it, and there. Okay, well, obviously you're talking to me or you're calling me because the guy that did it the last 10 years either left, thinks you're nuts, or is not coming back for probably that reason. So that's the biggest thing when it comes to the biweekly, guys, is you got to ask a few questions. Now, 9 times out of 10, I can tell you they're all understandable, the biweeklies we do. And they're great. I've had so many of these biweeklies since the very beginning when my mower was in my Ford Focus. You know, I've had some, mostly all the same, besides people that have passed on or moved. I still have them to this day. And some people just don't really care about the fertilizer, the irrigation. They don't care about the beautiful lawn. They just want it cut. It needs to be cut at least every other week. So, and besides the point, if anyone asks for once a month or whatever, just, call them back and be like, I'm not going to say don't call them back, but just call them back and tell them there's not a chance. So like I said, guys, that's my personal opinion on the bi-weeklies. You need to really, you really need to think about this. That bi-weekly, if you bag that bi-weekly and the time it takes to blow everything off, maybe you got to even double cut a certain area, you're losing a lot of money, especially if you have a helper, which is a big deal too. That weekly across the street, you'll be done quicker than you will that bi-weekly. There's a lot of math and a lot of timing you got to do to this when it comes to some of these bi-weekly lawns. Don't get me wrong. A lot of the bi-weeklies we do, they probably barely even need it most of the time we cut it because of the weather conditions, maybe the soil, but it still needs it regardless because it does get straggly. But like I said, if your truck is already parked, absolutely pick it up. Just explain those things. And I'm telling you from experience, that's what I do. Last week, we were doing a leaf cleanup the neighbor came out from across the street and asked for a quote for bi-weekly. This is exactly what I say. I say, absolutely, we can do bi-weekly. We cut from the first week of April through the end of November. We don't start any later, and we will not finish any sooner. Okay, they didn't have a problem with that. Also, we will not bag your lawn. We will not bag it for leaves in November. We will not bag it at all. Because if you're going for bi-weekly, it is going to take much longer, and my dump fees are going to go up too, which I didn't mention previously. Your dump fees will increase. So that $48, $50+ cut is now going down with the amount of time you might have to double cut it, the time you're paying somebody in the first place, and now your dump fees went up, plus taxes, plus wear and tear on equipment. I just make that very clear. That's all. I don't want to text when they pull away and say, oh, well, there's this area that's a little straggly. Yes, ma'am. Told you 100%. Your cut quality will not be the same as across the street. If you do it every week, it will be perfect. But we don't bag it. We've got to side discharge it. And I even put a little disclaimer. If it rains and it looks like a jungle, we do the best we can, but I do not double cut lawns for free. I never have and I never will. So that's a few things, guys. Again, I try to break these videos down a little easier. So don't bag them. Your dump fees are going to go up. Now your overhead's going down, or your overhead's going opposite direction. So you're going to end up paying more for your help, your dump fees on top of the taxes. It's just not what you need to really explain to them. And like I said, all the bi-weeklies we have, which is about 30 or 40, they're perfect. They don't care. I barely see them. Most sign up for leaves. Some sign up for snow. But it fits in the route, guys. It's right across the street or the next door neighbor where the truck is already parked. So take that how you want it. That's my personal opinion. If you have any questions, comment below. After all this said and done, I would say absolutely take on bi-weeklies. As long as they understand at least all the bullet points I told you, they should understand that also. So thanks for watching, guys. Any questions, comment below, and I'll definitely help you out. I've taken on bi-weeklies since the beginning, and I always have. So I've figured out how to work the system there. So again, thanks for watching, guys.